I hope you are all well, it's Willie here. In today's video, I'll show you how to maintain a freshly waxed car to help with the durability of the choice of wax you had recently put on the car for the nice summer months ahead. I've done a 10-hour detail on the car and it's got a coat of wax that I had applied a week ago. I'll put a link to the video if you want to give the detail a watch. Bearing in mind, the paint is not perfect. There's stone chips at the front end of the car, but that's to be expected as it's a daily driven car with 100,000 miles on the clock. The paint still looks great. Taking care of your pride and joy really helps make it last longer. The best time to wash the car during the hot summer months will be first thing in the morning or later on in the evening when it's a bit cooler. If you have an indoor space will be perfect, as you'll be shaded away from the sun without the chance of chemicals drying up. Having a runway will be great too, as you'll be getting shade from the side of your building. I'll be performing the maintenance wash out on the street as I don't have either of them. Yes, the sun was beating down on me, but luckily it's not as warm yet until it got to the afternoon when the temperature reached into low 20 Celsius or about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're like me out in the street, you can always wash the shady part of the car first and then turn the car around. I'll talk you through the process while we're cleaning up the wheels. It's always important to clean the wheels and tyres first. You don't want the dirt and grime splashing onto a clean car and then having to wash it off again. During the pre-wash stage, choosing pH neutral products are very important in maintaining your wax. Anything above or below will degrade the performance of your wax. Worst case scenario, your wax will be completely stripped off and you'll have to reapply your wax again. In all honesty, I would stay away from the hand wash guys, especially if you had spent so many hours in polishing your car. They'll use harsh chemicals and will use the same mitt they used on previous cars, leading to a greater chance of scratching and swirling your paint. Sometimes we can be busy to have the time to wash our own car. You can always go to a detailer and explain you have just recently waxed your car. They'll go through the process with you to ensure your pride and joy will be looked after at the highest standards, the safest way possible. In this video, I'll be showing you the two ways, a complete touchless method and going through the 2-bucket method and finishing off with a quick detailer. I like to do 1 week touchless and the other week with the 2 buckets. Try and wash your car weekly, that way you're not building up layers of dirt with a chance of the dirt clinging on. Otherwise, you'll be having to get an alkaline product and the chances are very high in degrading the performance of the wax. If you're wondering why I didn't ceramic coat the car instead, I really like the look of the wax, especially when the sun shines onto the metallic paint. You can see the flakes shimmering in the sun. Yes, a ceramic coated car will be easier to maintain with their self-cleaning properties and being much more resistant to chemicals in the full pH spectrum, but for me, visually, it doesn't give you a nice glow like a wax that's rich with natural waxes and high quality oil does in the summer season. But that's just my opinion. Leave a comment on which one do you prefer, a ceramic coating or a freshly waxed car. You can see the wax is protecting the paint. Holding the gun up closer than you normally would will take off the bud dropping and the bugs on the front bumper without using any chemicals. As mentioned, it's been a week since I applied the wax. I can just spray the water and call it a day, as the rest of the car is just covered in light dust. That's why it's important to give your car a regular weekly maintenance wash, as this will help in washing your car a lot easier the following week, and it will keep your car looking fresh if you're planning on going to any car shows. I know I'm just spraying the water, even though all the blood splatters are all gone. I just love watching as soon as the water hits the paint, it beads up and slides across from the pressure. There's so many different types of snow foam on the market and they all have their own purposes. Choosing the right snow foam for the work will help make the process a lot safer. During the winter months, I'll put on a lot more durable sealant to help protect against the harsh chemicals found in road grit during the cold freezing months. Higher chances of traffic film building up onto the car, as we know what it's like during the constant rain, not being able to go out to keep the car clean. This is when we need a much more aggressive approach with alkaline products to dissolve the build-up of traffic film, making it safer for the contact wash stage. During the summer months, a milder approach is all we need to tackle dust, pollen, bud dropping and splattered bugs, depending on how often you drive the car. A pH neutral snow foam would be the choice in this case. Snow foam products are applied and allowed to dwell for 5 to 10 minutes. How long you leave it to dwell depends on the product, so be sure to follow the instructions on the label. Pre-washing and snow foaming is a non-contact step. It softens the dirt particles and draws it away from the surface of the paintwork and gently slides it to the ground along with the foam. You can see the hydrophobic properties of the wax after rinsing off the snow. This means the surface of the paintwork is clean. It's only been a week since I applied the wax. Usually at this point I'll blow dry the car and finish off with a quick detailer, but I'll show you how to safely wash the car next for the contact wash stage. It's important to have grit guards in your buckets, one in the rinse bucket and the other in the wash. The grit guard sits at the bottom to trap any contaminants lifted from the bodywork when washing and rinsing your mitts, to prevent them being transferred back onto the vehicle to minimise the risk of swirls, marks or scratches. For the wash bucket, I'll have two mitts, one for the top half and the other will be for the bottom. I'm using a gloss enhancing shampoo, as this will help boost a bit of the gloss, as well as adding a barrier layer over the wax to help with the durability to help make the wax last a bit longer. Always wash your car from top to bottom and from back to front. The lower half of the car will always be dirtier than the top. Same with the front. You don't want to wash the car from the bottom and dragging all the dirt to the top, scratching your paint. Allow the wash mitt to glide freely across the panel. Don't put any pressure on the mitt. The weight of the wash mitt is enough. The more pressure you put on the mitt, the higher the chances you'll mar the paint. What is marring? Marring is a very light surface imperfection caused by the contact onto the paint. It looks like a combination of swirls and holograms. After each section, remember it's very important to rinse the mitt before going back onto the wash. This will help dislodge any dirt from the mitt had picked up, so you'll have a clean mitt for the next section. You have seen me putting two of the same wash mitt into the bucket at the start of the contact process, and you may have wondered how I can tell the difference so I don't pick up the same wash mitt and use it for the whole car while the other one has been untouched in the bucket. On one of them, I tucked in the black sleeve so it looks like a wash pad, and I'll know one will have the sleeve sticking out and the other will have the sleeve tucked into the mitt. If there's any spots you have seen that's not clean after rinsing off the shampoo, wash the area with a clean mitt. As mentioned, only allow the weight of the mitt to do the work. If the spot's not going away, wash it again using the same technique. This can be twice, 3 times or even 100 times until you see the area is clean. How can you tell if your car is ready for a new coat of wax? The most common answer will be the water test. Simply spray the water over each panel. If the water beads up, then your wax is still doing its job by providing a hydrophobic layer over the paint repelling water. And if the water flattens out and runs off slowly over the panel, then you know it's time to put on a fresh layer of wax. Putting a coat of wax is a great way to protect it from the element and keeping it cleaner for longer. This protective coating provides a barrier against dirt, water stain and the UV from the sun. We'll then move on to drying the car using water to sheet off the majority of the beads and blow drying the rest. This is a complete touchless way of drying the car. We'll start off by blow drying the wheels and tyres for your choice of dressing to be applied afterwards, then onto the paint and all the gaps so there's no water running down from the lights of the wing mirrors and the door handles. By using a quick detailer, this will add another temporary layer over on top and helps freshen up the look of the wax and add some shine. It's a simple spray on and wipe off process, and as you can see, it really helps to make the car paint shine and pop, giving a nice gloss and reflection. After each weekly wash, whether it be a touchless week or a contact week, it's really nice to finish off with a choice of quick detailer to freshen up the paint for the sun. Remember to always dress up the tyres, it's more of a personal choice. If you like your tyres to stay matte or have a noticeable dressing on by using a satin dressing, or a wet look by going for a gloss dressing, I'm going for a satin dressing in today's video. By dressing up the tyres will complete the overall look after spending your time looking after your wax. I'll let you enjoy the result captured, and I hope you found this video helpful, and if you want to see more content from ourselves on detailing wrapping, please hit the like and subscribe button. I hope to see you on the next one.